Hey, so you're thinking of selling your home without a realtor. I get it, DIY is a pretty big thing these days. And just because you would, consult an expert to give you open heart surgery or like an expert to fix your teeth, it doesn't always mean you're going to consult an expert to sell your house, right? After all, this isn't your largest investment and probably your biggest way toward wealth building that you're playing around with, right? Right? But never mind how I feel about it, right? I want to equip you guys with the tools to be able to get the job done if you want to sell your house on your own. Even if you don't want to use me, I still want your transaction to go smoothly. So here's how you can sell your house for sale by owner without a realtor. But first, in exchange for this information, all I want is for you to smash the like button, subscribe on YouTube, and then if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share this video on Facebook in case anyone you know is thinking about selling their house on their own. So obviously we want to sell this house on our own because realtor fees are expensive. On average, they're somewhere between 5 and 6% of the purchase price of the home. For a standard $200,000 house here in Central PA, that's about $10,000 or $12,000. Now, of course, selling your home on your own will only save you about half of that, about $5,000, because the buyers are likely going to have a buyer's agent and you're going to still have to pay them. 87% of buyers have a buyer's agent, so if you really want to try, you can try to find that other 13%, but good luck. So we're really talking about $5,000 of savings. It's important to note here, though, that research has shown that FSBOs for sale by owner properties typically sell for, on average, 6% less than listed properties by real estate agents. So if you do the math, you're going to be losing about $12,000 not listing with a real estate agent on average. But you know what? I have faith, okay? I believe that you guys are going to be the ones to break the cycle and you're going to price it correctly and we're going to get this thing sold. So let's talk about the work that you're going to do to save this $5,000. Now, as a for sale by owner, you're going to want to keep track of the responsibilities and tasks you're going to have to do in order to sell your property. Number one is to prepare your home. This could be like painting or filling in drywall, definitely cleaning the property a lot. People are going to ask you things like, when's the last time you dry locked the basement? How is the roof doing? What's the year on the roof? How are the gutters, right? How are the windows? That kind of thing. When's the last time that you serviced the furnace or the heat pump? Are you sure that your home is going to pass FHA or USDA standards? Because a lot of the buyers coming out of the woodworks right now are people that were FHA or USDA but couldn't buy in the last couple of years because everything was going conventional or cash. Number two responsibility for you is staging and photography. I'd say this is probably the most underrated part of a listing. I can't prove this at all, but I'd be willing to bet that most FSBO properties don't sell well because of poor photography and poor staging. They just don't really know how to market most of the time. Getting professional photography done is a really, really big thing. And also, I do video for my property, so I'll go around and I'll make a collage and I'll market it on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and things like that. That can go a really long way for getting the property sold. Really good marketing can turn a $180,000 property with very little showings into like a $200,000 property with a lot of buzz and a lot of showings on it. And staging and HGTVing your home can go a long way too. It'll allow the buyers to envision how beautiful the home can really look. The number three thing you're going to have to think about is pricing your home. And yes, it is harder than it seems, believe it or not. Do you know the last 10 sales that have happened in your neighborhood? Can you name, the differences between your home and their home, and when the roof was put on, and how updated the inside looks, and what backsplash they have? Can you name the differences between the two? Do you know the homes that have sold in the last few months after interest rates have spiked? Because that has really done a price correction in the market. Can you name those homes, and have you kept up with the comps? A lot of FSBOs will price their property too high with bad pictures, and then it'll sit for 6 months. And then what will happen is buyers will look at it and say, oh, what's wrong with this house? It's been sitting for 6 months. Does it have a bad roof? Is the foundation bad? And that's a really tough hole to dig yourself out of. And finally, step 4 here, we're going to list your home. You'll want to write a good listing description to kind of accurately portray the home before buyers get there. You'll want to include things that are important to buyers. So, how is the basement? Is it a dry basement? What recent updates have been done? What are the average utility costs, that kind of thing. And definitely include your favorite features too, like if there's something interesting, like a cool archway or something, you'll want to include that in the description. And logistically, you'll want to list your home on the MLS, but unfortunately only realtors can list on the MLS, so you'll have to make do with Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia. That part is probably not going to be very fun. I believe you can pay some flat rate fee companies to list your home on the MLS, but again, we're trying to save money, right? So just figure it out on Zillow and Realtor and Trulia and all that. I think you can even list your home on Facebook Marketplace now, if I remember correctly, but you can do Craigslist too, or something like that. So, and number 5, you're gonna have to handle showings. Once it's listed, the fun has just started. Now you'll need to schedule showings with prospective buyers that work for both of your schedules. And I'm sure both of you guys are working and don't have a lot of time. So I would just keep a schedule, keep a notepad or a Google Calendar or something for this. And as a realtor, I have an automated system for this kind of thing. But again, on your own, you're going to have to figure something out with the schedule. And don't forget to make sure your home is organized and clean during the whole showing period. And number 6, we have negotiation. So hopefully after all of this, you have an offer in hand. And now you have to put on your Better Call Saul hat and negotiate the terms of the agreement. And don't forget to pull other strings other than the price. You'll want to look into things like your appraisal gap payment, your escalation clause, your transfer tax, your inspections, your settlement date, all those kind of things too. But I have faith. I think you can figure this out. And finally, we get to closing. Finally, we get to the finish line. And after all of that, you just take everything you have to the title company. And they'll walk you through the settlement of the home. A lot of that stuff you don't really have to worry about much. And here's all the forms you guys are going to need. I'm just going to put them around my head. Again, I'm sure you can figure them all out. Just, Google it. And, I have faith and I believe you guys can figure it out, right? And again, make sure you fill them out correctly because it's a legally binding agreement. I would hate for something, to go wrong or be filled out incorrectly with, like your biggest asset and your biggest wealth building tool and probably the most important financial thing you'll buy. But I get it. We got to find a way to save that $5,000. I get it. No. Obviously, this video is a little tongue-in-cheek, right? And yeah. I know. I'm biased. I know. But personally, I would rather see a dentist for my teeth or a doctor for my kidney and then, yes, see a realtor to sell my property. My genuine opinion is that people take on far, far too much risk and work to save $5,000 or 2.5% of their property. And then a lot of the time they end up spending more money because they have to price cut their property. They didn't get good pictures. They didn't take care of the listing itself. And then they're in a place where they lost money and they did all the work. Like to me, that's pretty crazy. Like think about it. On average, for sale by owners are losing 6% to do all of the work. Like that's crazy. And like the great 90s philosopher DJ Quick once said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So if you'd like to talk to me about selling your property or you just want some advice and you are going to go the FSBO route, definitely give me a call. My number will be right here. You guys are welcome to call me anytime about any real estate related topic, or if you just need a friend, you just need a shoulder to cry on. I'm here, okay? All right, guys. See you later.